effect.
Ooh.
Guys,
Hey.
how are you? I just want to open this up. I just want to dive in with questions aimed at Bert.
Mm-hmm.
First question, Bert. I see you log on to Xbox Live like 10 times a day. Is that for work or you just leisure play? Like
today or in general?
Just in general. Probably not 10, but at least like I would say 5 times a day because I'm playing at work. I'm like, oh, he's online. Oh, he's logging on. Oh, he's logging on. And I get notifications on my phone.
I'm curious. That could just be my Xbox turning on.
Yeah, because you work from home most of the time, right?
I work from home, but like I'll turn it on when I'm watching something because I have all my apps on there. So like if HBO is on there, so I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna watch something during lunch. Yeah. So I'll like turn it on to watch something, but like during the day, no. But then at night, yeah, like at 7 o'clock or whatever, I'll jump on. But if it's like during the day, I'm curious if it's like
if you watch one of my streams, it shows you jumping on at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 1.
Yeah, it's probably lunch. It's probably lunch.
Yeah.
What is he doing? Is he stalking you and just waiting for that moment?
I'm waiting for to see Bert playing Elden Ring.
No.
God,
I enjoy hearing.
Majority of the time, it does say HBO Max though.
Yeah,
I've noticed that as well.
I'm playing through the South Park games though.
I definitely stalk you, Bert. I noticed that. How was that?
I mean, I'm replaying through them.
The older games. Like older games. I don't know if they came out.
Well, Stick of Truth came out a while ago. Then I beat that again, which was fun. And now I'm going through Fractured But Whole, and that one's super fun too. So I like them. I love the South Park games.
Would you call them platformers?
No, they're RPGs.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah, the first one's like a classic, Final Fantasy. Like you're on one half of the screen and the enemies on the other half, and it's like turn-based. Yeah, dude. If you've never played it, play the first one. It's fucking amazing. The first one is Stick of Truth, and it's like fantasy themed, and it's like all the kids are playing fantasy, like in South Park, and it's you start off and it's like you and the humans versus like all the elves, and it's just kids with ears, like elf ears, and it's fucking amazing because you can actually like walk. It's like a classic RPG. Like you go on quests and you have to go do things, and like it's the coolest thing because you could just walk around South Park, the town. So like you see a lot of stuff in the shows. You're able to like walk around. It's great. And then the second one is superhero themed. And it goes from like it's still turn-based, but instead of it just being like your guys over here and then the enemy over here, it's actually like a grid. It's like not crazy, but it's like you maneuver then on a grid. And dude, it's so much fun. It's like I would highly recommend both of these games if you've never played them because they are hilarious.
Is it on Steam or do you play it on Xbox?
I mean, I'm playing it on Xbox, but you can play them, I think, on Steam, but they're on Xbox. At least, yeah.
Nice. I'm definitely gonna check out Stick of Truth. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, check out Stick of Truth. It's hilarious because you play as like the new kid in town, and all of your like powers are like fart based. So it's like, yeah, dude, it's hilarious. It's amazing. Like it's like constantly farting on enemies, and dude, it's fun.
Second question.
Yeah.
The 3 questions I asked you.
Yeah, there's a few. You asked some really good ones.
What's worst? Rise of Skywalker, the end, season 7 Game of Thrones, the ending to Lost.
This was a really great question. Like which of these was more like disappointing?
Yes.
And it's funny because you started it in an order which was like, I think the order in which the stuff came out. So you're like, what's worst? Lost. Last season Lost. And I was like, well, I don't know what the next things are, but it's because it's got to be that. And then you were like, the last season of Game of Thrones. I was like, fuck. And then you were like, Rise of Skywalker. I was like, damn it. To me, this is a really tough question, but to me, the last season of Game of Thrones is objectively Rise of Skywalker is the worst because like even though I might dislike the last season of Lost and I might dislike the last season of Game of Thrones, like Rise of Skywalker is just such a terribly made movie. Like it's just so bad. Like my sister hadn't seen it before, and so she watched it the other day because they were going through all the Star Wars movies, and she was just like, "It is a train wreck. It's like a dumpster fire." It's like, dude, it makes no sense. It's so stupid. So objectively, I'd say, or maybe not objectively because I know some people like it, but like I think like in regards to like its crappiness, Rise of Skywalker. In regards to like its impactfulness, I'd go with the last season of Game of Thrones because I just did a rewatch of Game of Thrones, and like that season
1 to 7
from 1 to 7, yeah.
Damn.
And I was like really into it. It was like right when I moved in, because I was like, all right, what do I want to do when I like move in? And I was just like, I'm gonna watch Game of Thrones. I'm gonna go through it. And
they really invest you in their lives.
yeah,
and then,
that's
like,
the thing.
Startups, what is it? It was there 8
like
or 7
5.
seasons?
I think there's 7 seasons, right?
Whenever they just
sorry.
you're fine. They just start like integrating everybody's lives together, and it just doesn't feel as invested and it's just completely rushed. And
you watch some of the first seasons, and there's so many scenes that are like just 2 people talking.
Yeah,
so like 2 people in a room, and I'm like
30 minutes on just 2 people doing a thing, and then 20 minutes of this like scene, and then that's it. It's ending.
Yeah, and I'm like enthralled by like people talking,
and then it's like wait a year.
Yeah. And then like the season 7, it's like it's all spectacle. Like it should be cool, but it's just like they went for just the looks, like what look physically or what looks visually good, and there's like no substance. And it's just like I think that's why, to me, that's the most bizarre thing is Game of Thrones was such a phenomenon, like globally.
It really took off.
And then like by the end of season 7, it's been like complete. I've never seen something go from like everyone talking about it to everyone just being like, yeah, we don't talk about this anymore.
I feel like Walking Dead gets more talked about and Walking Dead is trash.
Yeah.
Well, dude, what are they on?
They're wearing like stormtrooper looking costumes now.
I stopped at like season 6 or 7.
Yeah. Once Herschel died. Whatever his name is.
Herschel, that was season 3.
No,
I
didn't.
I like stopped at season 3. That's kind of
really?
nice. Yeah.
I stopped after
Negan really started.
The Negan stuff was kind of like it was just beginning to be a little too much. Like just for my head, I'm like, it's not like
it got away from zombies.
Yeah, like this is like because it's like people are worse than zombies.
Well, I mean, I get it at that point, like, obviously it's been X amount of time. You're pretty much zombie killing machine.
Yeah.
Might as well
playing The Last of Us kind of brought me back a little bit, but just better made. Well, I think the show just really went downhill after Rick Grimes left. Like he's just, from what I heard, he just jumped in a helicopter and he's dead or not dead. He just took off. He's come out of here. And then what are they on, like season 12 now with like 3 spinoff shows? And then the lady who plays Carol just bailed on the spinoff show. She's like, I can't take this shit. like fucking dude, who was it? Morgan bailed and went to a spinoff show because he's like, this is a dumpster fire right here, Walking Dead. Let me go to whatever Walking Dead.
So Bert, would you say you were more, when I say invested, or what was the word I just had? More invested in The Lost or Game of Thrones? I feel like it's a silly question.
I was more invested in Game of Thrones, but Lost was one of those things where like I remember discovering it for the first time and being like, this is amazing. And then like calling up Randall and Tito and being like, come over here and watch this because this is amazing. And Tito was like, and then like Randy was just like, this is amazing. And I just remember like it was really weird getting into a show where like and being invested enough to be like, all right, I have to wait till next week to watch this. This is crazy. But then after a while, you start to realize like this show, nothing happens and it doesn't make any sense. And so by the end, I was just like, Like, whatever.
Well, after I think what there were 6 seasons, I think.
I think there's 6 seasons, yeah.
So halfway through season 5, that's when it kind of started to train back. Like it was like, you guys have captured everybody with this crazy concept of just waking up on a fucking beach. There's a polar bear here, a smoke creature, all this stuff, to where it's like, okay, like how are we gonna wrap this up? And then Ben's always like, I always have a plan. I always have a plan. I always have a plan. Like, okay, bro, like, damn, dude, you're just right by Hurley's side the whole time, just for us to all figure out that they live their lives, but they're all dead, and we're all meeting in this purgatory church. But Hurley and Ben are just gonna go run the island now. Like it just reset. Like I'm just wait, what? Like I'm kind of confused. The ending made no sense to me until Alex. You guys know Alex. He actually had to like sit down. It was like 10 years ago or longer, and actually explain the ending to me, and I was like, oh, damn.
Will you guys be disappointed if I tell you that I've never seen Lost?
I wouldn't.
Here's the thing. Yeah, I'm gonna say no, because like it's really interesting in the beginning, but like I'm curious. Like there's a point where I'm like, you have to watch this, but like now I'm like, nah, whatever. There's better things to watch. Don't invest that much time.
Did you guys ever watch The 100?
No.
Negative. That was a CW show, right?
Yeah, I think so. It was good. No. It was really good, like the first 2 seasons, and then maybe like the first 3 seasons, and then all of a sudden they pretty much like finished their whole like plot that they were doing, and then like, oh, by the way, there's this meteor or like there's like nuclear reactor on Earth that's gonna explode in 6 months and kill everything on it, and they're stuck on the planet, and they're stuck on Earth, and so they're like, how are we ever gonna do it? And I was like, nope, I'm done.
Let's get some drama. Let's get some drama in there, like season 5, The Expanse, like where such a great ending, and then all of a sudden, like, oh man, because I had no idea.
I have not watched the final season yet, so
you're not missing much.
I'm holding out.
Yeah, hold out longer, bro.
I want to rewatch it all again.
I wouldn't mind rewatching like the first 4 seasons, but then season 5 was just very like.
See, I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it.
I didn't not love it. I didn't not hate it, but it was I think it was both the same thing. But it was but you said it, the main girl's character.
She should have died.
She should have fucking died like 8 episodes ago.
They built her up to die, and they're just like.
But nah, like you said, her character got very weak and soft. Like her character was too needy. Like it was like, yeah, Dalton's right. God, what happened to you?
I got one.
Yeah, but you also, I was gonna say, anything that Dalton recommends, I take with a grain of salt, because you've enjoyed the Halo show. You're like, I kind of liked it, and I'm like, oh my god,
dude, it's like my friend John saying, he's like, bro, like the Boba Fett show was probably my favorite. I was like, what?
Dude,
you
no.
mean the only 2 episodes that you liked?
So it was so bad.
It was I could comprise, what was there, 8 episodes? Yes. I could comprise about 30 minutes from the 5 episodes that didn't have the Mandalorian, and I could be like, all right, there's Boba Fett here in 30 minutes. And then give me those 3 episodes with Bryce Dallas Howard directing with the 2, and I'm like, all right, this is basically where we're at. And then just give me that dumpster fire of the season finale. I just really wish that Grogu Mando like meet up again would have been so much more heartfelt.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you doing here? Oh god. Okay.
Yep.
Who's directing this? Dave
Filoni? I'll watch it soon. I'm powering through Clones with like Randy right now.
Yeah, you guys are both watching Clone Wars.
You're way ahead of me though.
But Dalton, you're watching it chronological order. Yeah.
Yeah. So I looked up the order and I'm watching it. So I'm almost done with season 1 now. So I think it was like, what was it? I'm trying to remember. Not look it up. It was season 2, episode 16. Season 1, episode 16.
Yeah, it's so bizarre.
Yeah, but
But I wish I had watched it the way that you did.
So I can see some of it, like I said, with the rookies. Randall, you're at the, with Cut Up and Heavy and all that. So I saw the episode when, they went through their training and stuff. And then you get to see the episode where Cut Up dies. And I was like, all right, this kind of hits a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Not that I was super sad, but
it's definitely the TV show shouldn't be PG. Like I just don't think it's a PG show, like at all. Obviously it caters to a wide audience and fills in questions I never thought to ask. But the show it's good because it's not like, all right, we're centered around. I mean, obviously the show's essentially centered around Anakin. Like he's like the main guy. But it's like there could be just a complete episode with Obi-Wan and Rex. Yeah. There could be an episode with Ahsoka and R2. There could be just Anakin and R2. And you don't all see them in the same setting all the time, which is kind of refreshing. And also, it's a big fucking galaxy.
And they don't portray him as arrogant like they do on the movies.
No,
he's
I will
still
say,
a little hot-headed, but it's not so bad.
I will say I really do like animated R2. You just do so much. So,
I was really thinking, like, what was that one episode of when R2 got lost and he was just
find R2
doing shit, like trying to get free.
Yeah.
Like to think about that, I started thinking about like how much shit, if you really think about, R2 has been through.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's seen a lot.
Everything. Yeah.
And I'm like, dude.
Sorry. Keep going.
You're good. Go ahead.
No, it's just to think about how much he's seen, how much he's gone through, how many like major, like galactic spanning events, not only he's been a part of, but he's been responsible for. And then think about the last 3 Star Wars movies and how he's just, they literally have like a tarp over him. Like they don't, the level of just like not giving a fuck about like R2-D2 in like the new movies because they want to like BB-8. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't like BB-8 was like whatever. Like I shouldn't say it's not like I dislike BB-8, but I'm always like, yeah, but just why the fuck am I not R2-D2?
At least like give him see, I haven't seen the last Star Wars yet, but I would say at least give him. Well, I'm gonna watch it just because I want to watch them all, but I would say at least give him like a proper send off. If you're gonna
do anything,
tarp over.
Yeah, it's just so. And then it's the same thing. It's like they didn't know what to do with Chewbacca, so literally you think about it, it's just like Chewbacca's in Force Awakens.
Yeah,
and then in what's the middle one? Last Jedi. He's just kind of just there. He just does stuff, and it doesn't do anything. He almost eats like a porg, and then feels bad, and then like flies the ship.
He's already dead.
Yeah, I know. I was
just like, dead, dude. Yeah. Like they already like yeah.
And then the third one, he's just they're in the background. Like they. Well, I don't want to say anything because you haven't seen it yet, but there's like a moment where you're like, oh wow, and then they immediately go, ha, just kidding, and I'm like, this is dumb. This is so. I hate it. I hate it so much.
How many kills would you say R2-D2 got? Because wasn't there one time where I looked it up or whatever, and he did something where it was like a whole fleet or some shit that got wiped out. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I mean, my thing is, he is like, if you count the first Death Star, right? I know he's shot in it, but like he was a part of that, right?
Yeah. So that's like
that body count is high. Yeah, he got an assist, but it's like it's like 9 million medals. Yeah, dude. I want you to watch the last Star Wars just so I can like start shit talking on it more.
You can talk about it. I don't really care.
It's just like there's just so much stupid shit in this movie that I just don't fucking understand why they were like. That's the part to me that I was talking to my sister about this, and my brother-in-law. It's like hundreds of millions of dollars were spent making just that movie. And if you look at like all 3 of the new Star Wars, hundreds of millions of dollars. If you include marketing and all that stuff, billions of dollars plus, like, or probably $1 billion. And then like they literally bought Star Wars from George Lucas for $4 billion, right? Yeah. So just insane amount of money for this. And like they were like I look at The Force Awakens and I go, I don't like it. I know some people do, but it's just like, as a script, it's like, okay, you redid Star Wars, you did A New Hope, but at least it kind of holds up until the very end. The Last Jedi is like, this is just fucking, how did this get cleared? Like, this is just like, this is really bad, like, script. Like, this doesn't make any sense. This is dumb. And then you get to The Rise of Skywalker, and I'm like, somebody punked you. Somebody literally turned in a script, and they're all like, yeah, sure, green light. And he's like, no, I was just kidding. They're like, no, too late. We're already in. Because it's so bad. It's literally so bad. It's like, it's not, I don't understand how it went through any sort of like there are people whose jobs are to make sure that thing never got made, because like they should have been giving like feedback to like no, this is fucking dumb. But the fact that like everyone's just like, yeah, do whatever you want, fucking all right. Like the Last Jedi, it's just like, yeah, fucking make a movie about running out of gas, I guess. Yeah, sure. That's what kids want to see in their Star Wars. It's like, what the fuck? And it's just like, in the last, sorry, I'm fucking on a tangent. The Rise of Skywalker, it's just like, yeah, sure, fuck it. Palpatine's back. Fuck it. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's like I think we were talking about it here, but maybe it's just every conversation. Oscar Isaac is, I would say, currently right now one of like the best actors that's just like currently in movies. So you literally have like an objectively great actor who is able to do phenomenal performances, and there are lines that he delivers in The Rise of Skywalker that are just, it's so bad that I'm like that was your best take. You couldn't get him to care about this enough. It's just like, Palpatine's returned or fucking whatever, I don't know. And like you're like, what the fuck? Like, how is this is like, I don't get it. I don't.
He's probably like, they should have killed me off in the first movie like planned.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched Moon Knight?
I haven't yet. No.
It's extremely well made.
I heard it's really good. Yeah.
Like the best way I can describe it, we'll just bypass it after this, but it's like watching a 6-hour-long movie. Everything picks up right where it is. There is no like, oh, we're going back. It's like 3 weeks into the future. Like, no, we're picking up like 5 minutes ago where he just was. Like, that's cool. What we're doing. But it's good. It's good. It's good. It's not like it's really not like your typical superhero show like at all. Like, it's, of the times you see the Moon Knight is probably like 15 or 20%, if that, in my eyes. But you guys caught up on Halo?
Hold on, I want to ask Bert, or Rennie, you might know this. About Clone Wars. Jar Binks.
Oh my god!
Yeah, let's go back to voice actors start, because I don't remember what episode it was. Maybe 14 or 15. He is just, the voice acting went completely terrible. Like, it sounded nothing like him.
Oh, he's a bomba, crazy.
See, that sounds better than whatever shit they've got
to be honest, I don't know, because I probably blocked it out. Because
I don't remember if you did the episode where he pretending to be the Jedi. And
oh yeah,
that was the episode I noticed, and it was like, I don't know what happened to his voice, but it was so bad. And I like Jar Binks, but
you like Halo, the show. You like Jar Binks.
I haven't caught up.
You as a friend.
No, to be honest, it's refreshing to have somebody else in the. If it's just the three of us shit talking on the same thing, it's like whatever. It's having a counter opinion. So I'd love to hear why you like the Halo show. I am just not caught up because
I don't think I watched the last one.
Yeah, I've watched.
It's pretty bad.
Is it?
No, actually, no. It's not as bad as so far. The only episodes that are okay, in my opinion, are episode 3 and episode 6. Everything else is really terrible.
Yeah, but there was a combat episode, right?
Yeah,
like the war heavy one. That was the.
Yeah, but that was episode 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They had an episode that was like a combat episode.
Yeah,
and you're not considering it on the good list. That's insane to me.
The coolest part
for
about
a Halo
that whole
fucking
entire
show.
The coolest part about that whole thing for me was seeing the brute at the end. I'm like, all right, Brute was kind of
that
fucking
was dope.
mean.
That
he
was
looks kind of like without a doubt in my head, I'm like, this brute will kill Master Chief right here.
Yeah,
like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
No,
I also didn't mind the fact it was weird at first. It was actually very weird at first.
Oh yeah, they had the grunts too.
They had the grunts. No, I was gonna say they had jackals with swords. And I was just like, when that first happened, I was like, what the fuck? And then afterwards, I was like, all right, whatever. I'm like, okay. Just here's the part that I just can't fucking stand. The dude takes his fucking helmet off all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense.
He finally put it on. See, I'm on episode 4. I finished episode 4. But yeah, he finally, there was like 3 episodes, you know, the first one halfway through, I guess he took it off, but then I think it was 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, he just has it off. And it's like I was talking to somebody about this, and it's just, it completely negates the fact that he takes it off in the first episode. Because he takes it off and you're like, oh wow, that's supposed to be important. But then like he just constantly takes it off. And I'm like, there's literally a scene in episode, is it 2, where he goes to the station or whatever?
Yeah.
Where like they build up this whole thing of him putting it on and like walking out into like the space station. And everyone's just like, oh shit, there's a fucking Spartan. And everyone's like, ah. And then like he immediately takes it off for the rest of the fucking thing. And I'm like, literally, god damn, this shit pisses me off.
Yeah, it's I do like the
he's a huge ass fucking Spartan, and he's literally fucking walking around like with his dick in his hand because he's just holding this helmet like it's the almost awkward shit because he holds it like this and he's just like walking around. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, this is so dumb. And there's literally a moment, I don't think it's a spoiler, but like in episode whatever the last one was, the combat one, he's like in a fucking war zone. And like he's fighting, and then like, sure, they kill the last dude. He just immediately takes his helmet off, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it's so stupid. Because it's the most awkward thing seeing him walk around with his helmet like off. Like,
if he takes his helmet off, then that means his shield. Would his shield be deactivated?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could technically. It would just be like his head would be vulnerable. But that's my point, is like you're in a war zone, like this is like, and I was talking to
combat number 1.
Yeah, and it's just like on. Keep your helmet fucking on. And it's just like there's this scene in episode 2 where he goes to the guy's house and he's just like, I got new floors, you're not bringing that thing in here. And like he takes it off and I'm like, all right, whatever. But then like, why? Like you have to break down the scene. Why are they doing it? And it's just like it's all building up to he's like having him try the fruit, and he's just like, what does it taste like? And he's like, oh, it doesn't taste like fucking anything. Because that's because you got a fucking inhibitor chip in your fucking, but they call them pellets, but I'm using the Star Wars thing because it's fucking cooler than that. He's like, you got a fucking inhibitor chip in you, and it's just like that's like the build up. And it's to show like he is, how he's still like more machine than there's a family, and it's just weird. You know what would have fucking made that scene better? If he's in his fucking suit. There's a whole family, it's a family, gathering, and everyone's like there, and he's just like in armor. He's like, you can take that off. And he's just like, I don't take off my armor because it's fucking, you never know, like blah blah blah. And then then it builds up to the moment where he has to take off the helmet to eat the fruit to then get to there. Like, it's just structurally, that's how you fucking should do that scene, because that fucking makes sense. And like the fact that like this thing gets greenlit, because I'm like, who the fuck is writing this? Like this, it just drives me insane. Like you're building up to, you have cheapened the moment in the very beginning because he's constantly taking off. And I know it's like, well, it's the whole thing is like his search for his humanity. And like, yeah, but like you've shown that he's never has it on. So it's so weird. And then there's like a scene, like is it episode 2 or whatever, where he just yells at the guy like, well, what am I? And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is insane to me. And then, like, I don't know. It's such a fucking weird show.
I do feel like they're making him a little too emotional and soft. And it's not portraying the Master Chief that you would play in the game. I know, I guess they're trying to be like the game, but still, as a Master Chief character, I personally don't care about his emotions.
I'm okay with them deviating from the game, right?
Yeah,
like, that's the part to me that
even showing his you know, how he was grown as a child and everything.
Well,
but
what Halo the show is basically this small 5-minute bunch that we kind of got a glimpse of on Halo 1 that they all just crammed together just for them to find the Halo ring. Let's make a whole entire season of, in my eyes, a 5-minute bit where the real Captain Keyes is like, we're gonna crash land on that thing. Full speed, a pillar of autumn. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then they land on there. I feel like that's just what they're building up to. They're just building up to get to fucking Halo, where it would have been just nice to just be there, I guess, at this point. Like,
yeah, I mean, like, I'm cool with them exploring, you know, the universe more. I totally get it. And like, it's just so weird to me that and exploring the fact that like the UNSC isn't like necessarily good. They're not like objectively good. I know I keep saying objectively.
Yeah, they're really bad, actually.
They're pretty bad, even in the games and stuff. But like, you know, or the lore, right? But like, and this is just like, it's so like comical the level that they go, where I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just the fact that a new episode came out and I literally turned it on, like I turned on my Xbox, so you probably saw me, and I was like, I'm gonna watch this. And I was just like, nah, I'd rather just watch episodes of South Park. And I just like flipped over to like that. Like, that's insane to me that a Halo show is out right now. And like, people are calling, like texting me, and my dad was like, so should I watch this? And I was like, no, don't. Like, I'm watching it to see how big of a train wreck it is. But like, don't do it. Don't do it. It's bad. It blows my mind. It feels like what? Sorry, this is the Bert rant episode. Also, I miss you guys. It seems to me that they really wanted to do their own just sci-fi thing, and they were like, well, I guess we'll just throw Halo on it because, you know, we need to make something that's like named. And like, every opportunity they have to like slap, hey, this thing, remember this thing? And I'm like, yeah, but now you're fucking doing it weird. It's like somebody who got a box of Halo toys, like action figures, and it was like, read the box and it's like, oh, grunt. Okay, cool. Well, these things are called grunts and we're going to put them in there. But then they're like fucking stacking on top of each other. Like they're three guys in a suit. And they're like, what the fuck? What are you doing, kid? Or it's just like, oh, this thing is Master Chief. And then they're just like playing with the toys, but like they're making their own, so they know what they're called, but they don't know anything about them. And that's what that show feels like to me. Like, they're like, oh, Captain Keyes. Okay. And then they're like, he's going to kill kids. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it's so weird. It's like, oh, Miranda Keyes. Okay, well, she's a scientist. No, I mean, she commands a ship. She's a scientist, but I use the name though, because that's the thing. The action figure says Miranda Keyes, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, man? It's like Randall said, fucking weird.
A lot of the parts have a very Expanse feel to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, they want to build their own Expanse, but the difference is like,
their season 5,
like you said, they want Expanse. They just want something. They just want something mainstream, and they're gonna slap Halo on it.
Yeah, that's like that asteroid level place. It's like, oh wow, this is conceptually cool. Yeah, this doesn't feel like Halo at all. It's fucking weird, right? No. You know, it's like they call the planet Reach. They're like, oh, or something Reach, but then I'm like, yeah, but like, or no, that was that. They fucking have you know, Lord Hood show up, and he's just like this weird, like not quite mustache twirling villain, but he's just like, I don't want to know about it. And if I don't know about it, I'm like, what? Just make that a random dude. Just make that a random dude. Like, that's the thing, is like, I'd be so into it if like I would give more leniency to Captain Keyes. It's not Captain Keyes, but it's like Keyes and his daughter Miranda, right? If they just hadn't called them that, and just, here's some characters that we're introducing. Oh, okay. Oh shit, I guess they're fucking evil, I guess, because, you know, whatever. But it's just weird. It's just fucking weird. It's a weird fucking show, man.
You know what I thought about? They should have had Captain Johnson.
Yeah, that's like, the part that I don't understand.
That would have been like, you know,
right, give me Sergeant Johnson. He's like the best character in Halo.
So like, the closest that I feel like we're gonna get to Sergeant Johnson is going back to James Cameron's Aliens with that captain. Like, looking good.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. I'm like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, they don't have that like just run and gun tough son of a bitch. Like that's just there.
Yep.
Because Master Chief, like the one episode where he took out his fucking pellet, whatever.
Yeah.
And Halsey was telling Cortana to, just help me accomplish. I'm like, you're making Master Chief seem like an idiot, like a fool right now. I just didn't like that at all. Like that whole scene, I didn't enjoy. I was like, dude, like he's smarter than this.
That's what they did to Boba Fett too, in like the Book of Boba Fett. He like literally talks about how he's tired of working for people that are fucking idiots that get them killed, and then he proceeds for the rest of the show to be a fucking idiot that makes stupid decisions that gets people killed. I'm like, what the fuck? This is so weird. God damn it, I hate this shit.
Can we circle back to Clone Wars?
Mm-hmm. Please, let's talk about some good shit.
Yeah, I kind of get annoyed of Yoda's voice in there. Because it's just like you hear it in moderation in the actual Star Wars movies, whatever, but then you hear it like a lot. It's like, and there was a thing in Lego Star Wars where Yoda was like, dude, you must this, like whatever, blah blah. And then like one of the Lego characters is like, why doesn't he just say you have to do it like this? He's like, I don't know. like it was just like
it's like the Robot Chicken one where it's like he's commanding all of the clone troopers. He's like, perimeter around the survivors we must make. And he's like, look, sir, this is a war zone, and like you need to be clear, and like this is really confusing. And he's just like, sorry, I am. And it's just like, sorry, yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Stop.
Like,
can't stop. Like, stop, I can.
Did they ever explain why he talks like Yoda?
No. But can we talk about how let's see, what is the it's the oh shoot, I'm trying to remember their name. Oh, because you guys didn't see, well, sorry, I'm getting ahead. I'm three different tangents in my head. Let's talk about clone troopers for a second.
Yeah, I feel bad for them.
You feel bad for them all the fucking time, man.
Yeah, because they're people.
They're people.
Slaves.
It's literally slaves. Yeah.
Bert, you said something in the last podcast when we were discussing, and you're like, the rebels are like terrorists.
Yeah.
After watching like Clone Wars, I'm like, you guys are pretty bad. Like it after a certain point, after they have the Death Star and all this stuff, and there's technically a new galaxy order in the galaxy where people are still getting paid and everything, and then you guys are coming in here bombing shit, like kind of fucking stuff. I was just thinking about, like, what is the Imperials were bad, but then they kind of just did what they just conquered their mission and have law in the galaxy, and it's all ruled by like one dude. Whereas Rebellion is like, we need to be free of this, and there's going to be corruption and everything. It's just very interesting. Like I just lean so much more to the dark side. like you guys are. Yeah, I mean, is Darth Maul that bad? I mean, he did kill Obi-Wan. Like, never mind. Don't want to get too far ahead.
Yeah, that is probably one of the most interesting things, because you were like, you sent me a text being like, dude, Darth Maul on the show is fucking nuts. And I'm like, yeah, it's like crazy. Because I remember when that first happened, like when they first introduced him, I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, no. And then like it gets to the point where like, oh, dude, it's crazy. And I don't want to jump too far ahead. Yeah. But like you start to see some like reasonings why, and you're like, oh wow, like I'm like feeling bad for Darth Maul. This is like weird.
Yeah, it was kind of, yeah, I think it's season 4, Dalton, that he comes into play, but he's very kind of just freaky looking.
Yeah, he's freaky. No, but like, yeah, I want to talk about the whole like Obi-Wan Satine thing.
Oh dude, I love the opening guy.
Oh really?
He just kind of gives like this narrative was going on after like a story arc is done. He just starts a complete new one, like Ahsoka Tano.
It reminds me of the Starship Troopers guy.
Yeah.
Do you want to know more?
Would you like to know more?
Yes. Would you like to know more?
So, what's up with the Spartan-looking clone trooper dudes? Do you know what I'm talking about? They're like blue. They have like Maximus-looking.
Yeah,
things.
The ARC troopers. They're fucking sick, dude. Can I nerd out about those? They're like the dopest shit. And it's like the original ARCs were basically like super commandos that were trained by Jango Fett. And they were like, while all the regular troopers are just supposed to like follow orders and like do things, these were like basically supposed to be designed to be like Navy SEAL, Green Beret spec ops guys that'll like have more independent thought and make all these cool decisions. And that's what I wanted to like talk about. I didn't know how far you were in. They're the dopest shit, and like their armor looks sick. And there's a certain point, and I don't want to like, I don't think it's not gonna ruin anything. There's a certain point where the show transitions from the phase 1 clone trooper armor you see for most of the show. It's like that. It's from episode 2. It's like the T-visor stuff into the armor that's you see in Revenge of the Sith, where it's more Stormtrooper-esque. And I just love that. I love that phase 2 armor so much. It looks so sick. And then they like update the ARC troopers too. And I'm like, dude, they're so good, dude. Fuck. I love them. They're the best.
Yeah, it's I think I'm like halfway through season 7 right now. And I already watched the Bad Batch, but I'll just go back and watch it just because I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I love the perspective it gives on Star Wars. Like it has that Star Wars feel, but it's not, like you said, it doesn't just shine on one particular thing. I like how, like Randy said, or maybe it was Bert, but every episode it could be what's that chick's name?
Ahsoka Tano.
It could be Ahsoka, and I love that aspect.
Her character grew on me a little bit more, not like my favorite. Also, I guess she had good character development.
See, and that was another thing about I like to do in the chronological order, because you see her come on, and whenever Anakin is gonna be her master, and she's like, you get that perspective before, instead of just episode 1 or 2 or wherever, when she was just there.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Clone Wars movie, so.
No, it wasn't even the Clone Wars movie. Or was it in the Clone Wars movie?
It was a Clone Wars movie, because I accidentally started watching it. And I'm like, this is weird.
See, okay.
I'm like, Ahsoka.
Bert, you said you didn't like it? I thought it was all right. I didn't hate it.
Isn't this just the whole thing about going to get Jabba's like
a little
slug baby?
I forgot about that. I think that's a love story that is not talked about. Maybe not a love story, but I mean, like a little. Everybody loves Grogu and Mandalorian, but what about Jabba and his little slimy baby? He's also adorable.
What race is Ahsoka?
I don't know. I think I don't know off the top of my head. I can look it up, but that would be cheating.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Togaruda, whatever.
I think it's like it's like begins with a T. I think, right?
Togaruta.
Togaruda.
Words are hard.
Twala. Yeah, dude, Dalton. They even had one full episode where it's just droids.
Yeah.
Like the droids had a mission. Bernie.
So now whenever I say not anything, but I try to say Roger to my
Roger. Dude,
Battlebirds are great.
The Rogers are good.
They're so dumb but so funny. Yeah. They remind me of grunts.
Mm-hmm. I outrank you. You have to do what I say. It is interesting to see just pure droids on a ship.
Mm-hmm.
Like just working the whole ship, not doing anything else. All right, so get this, for the longest time, like the bigger clones or the bigger droids that would just walk and just like do. I had no idea it had like a Roger head in the middle until recently. I guess they're not lit up or anything. I was like, oh my god, these are just like really big Rogers. I enjoyed it. It's good. It's good. Oh man. I know I don't think we're quite ready to start.
No, but can we talk about it?
Yeah.
Talk about what? Oh, I had some questions.
Yeah, because I'm waiting. So I guess I'll follow up after this with like, so it sounds like, are you guys locking in as loosely as you are to those classes?
I'm definitely
okay. Then I'll send you the next step. And the next step is like generating your abilities, scores, which is great. Okay, cool. I'll move forward. But what are we talking about, Randy?
LOTR.
Want to give people any sort of preview into the characters you guys are building?
Yeah, so I am building, well, a little backstory as to why. Rohan is my favorite clan, essentially, or whatever, family, whatever you want to call it. Éomer is my favorite character in Lord of the Rings. So yeah, I'm gonna build a Rohan guy that's a wanderer that's basically I'm not sure how we're gonna do it, but he didn't ostracize himself from Rohan, but he's definitely not there. He's just a wanderer. He's just out there on horseback, just doing stuff.
Would you say he's a Jar Jar Binks?
No, he's not. Lisa don't like that analogy.
Oh no, what I
or Lisa don't like that comparison. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna use a Rohan soldier that's a wanderer. So yeah. I think that's gonna be pretty awesome.
It's kind of cool. I miss a separate way to get some vino.
He said that he's not like ostracized from Rohan, but you know, almost like a misfit, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm just such a cool idea.
I'm just out there. And then I said, would you relate him to Jar Jar Binks?
Oh Jesus, get out of here. Yeah, I really love this concept because I just imagine like, yeah, just a dude on a horse like roaming around, like exploring, right? It's kind of like it's the equivalent of somebody who just is like living out of their car, just driving around the country, you know?
Right.
Or getting like, where are you? I live by the road.
Yeah.
Motorcycle. I've got my knapsack.
Yeah.
Stop where I want to stop.
Yeah. Right.
And then Dalton, what about you?
So I'm gonna be a hobbit.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about it.
I love this.
I think I definitely relate more to being a hobbit. And I decided I wanted to be like a more mischievous kind of, not like a bad guy kind of hobbit, but just more mischievous, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing the treasure hunter,
so
I can focus on. Is it the treasure hunter?
I think it's like a
treasure hunter.
More or less a thief, like a burglar.
Yeah, that's right. A burglar. Yeah.
So I want to be able to like be sneaky and, you know.
I love this. In my head, I see this as like a weird like buddy movie, right? A buddy cop movie kind of thing, but it's just like fucking Randy is this like grizzled Rohan guy that's adventured and like dude, I just love this. So I'm super excited. So I'll send the next stage so we can start this, but it's cool. Go ahead.
No, but you mentioned if we ever wanted to be the GM or anything. So if you want to make a character, I don't mind trying to sub in sometimes where we can have like a small little arc.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'll think about it.
What would you be, Bert? Like just choose like, you don't have to choose like right now, but like give us like a couple choices or 3 choices.
Yeah, my immediate thought when I was looking through the stuff is going either being a like it's 3. I really like playing let me center it. I was getting super excited. My head's going in 3 different directions. One would just be like an elf like ranger, like an elf like archer, so that I can just fucking snipe shit. Like I know it's very much, well, isn't it Legolas? It's like, yeah, but like that's cool to me. Like just being a guy that's just like
cooler than
thump. Yeah. But like,
who can walk on snow.
Yes, who can walk on snow. It's basically like think Legolas build, but like, you know, he's, you know, by build I mean like class, but personality is like completely different, right? And then the other main one I was thinking about was just like, I really love the idea of being like, I love the Gondor Knights. There's like a certain area where it's like there's in the books at least there's like this dope area of the south where like all the knights come from. So imagine it being like that, but very similar to like Randy's thing, where it's just like he's a dude that's like a tank, so it'd be like our squad's tank, but he just kind of like roams. So it's kind of like a questing knight. Like he's constantly like, all right, hey, like I need to like go and like do these things and stuff. And then yeah, those are like my two main ones that I was thinking about. But then in my head, I know what I secretly want to do, but I know the book won't let me do it. But we could always make it up. Is my favorite actual group in Lord of the Rings, as Randy knows and Dalton knows from having played Lord of the Rings card games with me, is the Easterlings.
So, go there.
So my number one idea would be like an Easterling bounty hunter. So it'd be like a Boba Fett kind of character that's like an Easterling. So he just kind of roams around doing whatever. So like he could take a job. Yeah. So you could like take jobs for, oh, you want me to kill a bunch of orcs? All right, I'll do it. So he still has like his cool Easterling helmet, but instead of like the full on like armor geared stuff, he's more like the man with no name from like Clint Eastwood movies. He's got like a poncho and he's got armor underneath, but he's just like this roaming bounty hunter that like who's just made his way up through like Rune, which is where the Easterlings come from. And it's just Rune. Remember my old gamer tag, Soldier of Rune?
Negative.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Negative.
That was my old gamer tag from forever ago. Yeah. So I was like, dude, they're so dope. I love Easterlings. So that's my number one. My number one would be an Easterling bounty hunter.
I don't know why, but when I see those guys, especially that episode, and whenever they're all walking, marching, with their elephants and shit, I just think of Age of Empires.
Yeah.
So there's one thing in. All right. Well, I just want to talk about Lord of the Rings for a second.
Yeah.
So when the Easterlings obviously look like fucking super cool ninjas with spears,
samurais and stuff.
Yeah. So, but you got like the barbarians on the Oliphants, like
Southrons.
Are they? So they're different. They're not the same clan.
Yeah, they're different. So there's like,
they didn't have a lot of cards for Southern. That's why.
Yeah, they had way more cards for Southrons, which was like crazy, but it's because the Easterlings only show up in like that one scene where they're like walking to the Black Gate.
Yeah.
And then you see like a handful of them like in Return of the King. But like the Southrons were like fucking, the elephants were walking in Two Towers. And then the entire scene where they were like fighting the Rohan guys. So there's more frames of the movie that they're in. So they were able to like, it's the decipher thing, right? Here's this one random dude in the background over here. Zoom, 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 zoom. Desert Lord. You're like, all right, whatever,
Get him.
Yeah. So, yeah. God, I want to build my Southern Archer deck
I'm going
again.
like back and forth. Well, I'll just say this because this is what's sticking out. If you go back and watch the Return of the King extended version, and then they're having that battle at the Capitol, basically the Capitol of Lindell, Dalton. That's basically it. And the Urchies on top. And then we're like, yeah, well, we're all pretty much gonna die. Like everybody inside, forgive me. Minas Tirith, yeah. Forgive me. Like everybody in Minas Tirith is like, well, we're gonna die. It's gonna happen. And then you literally have the Witch King's about to slay Gandalf, and then you just hear the horn of Rohan. How do you not get emotional right there?
Yeah, dude.
Like it's like, dude, these guys are fucked, and they literally have a monkey as one of these orcs in the movie. You guys are fucked. And then you see like, I don't know, like 10,000 Rohan guys on fucking horseback, like show up to just try to help you out. Like, man. And then, they make a way through. Then they look at the Southern and they're like, okay, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Well, that was the other thing. The Easterlings have boats. But
those are technically a third faction, and those are the Corsairs of Umbar.
Oh, okay.
Snap.
Was that Peter Jackson on that boat?
Yeah, we'll put Peter Jackson on that boat. Hey, dog. Puppy.
Oh, hey.
It's like so Rune is actually closer to like where the dwarves live. So if like you know how like Mordor is like surrounded by mountains,
yeah,
right? Rune is like up top. Southrons are like down here, and then Umbar is like still south, but like on the coast. So there's this whole thing in the books, right, where like the Easterlings like go to where the Hobbit movie. I sorry to bring in the Hobbit, but like how Hobbit takes place at the end where it's Dale, like it's like the city on the water. The Easterlings go there and they just like fuck it up. They like destroy like the city and they're fighting a bunch of dwarves. So like they're fighting up there too while all this other stuff's going on. So there's the fucking, and in the book it's like when the Black Gate gets destroyed, or I'm sorry, when the ring gets destroyed and there's like the battle at the Black Gate, like all the orcs fucking lose their mind because Sauron like gets destroyed and like his like gaze isn't on them, so they're like they just fucking scatter, like they're fucking crazy, right? The Easterlings are like the one imagine like thousands of orcs running away. The Eastlings are like, what the fuck? And like they just fight to the last person against Aragorn and his army. So just in my head, I always imagine them too as like being very Spartan-esque, where it's like, fuck it, fighting the last, here we go. And like, even though all your allies just fucking pieced. But it begs the question, what the fuck would an Easterling imagine? Like they march into the Black Gate, right? They go into Mordor. And so like they're in there. We know that they're in there. We see them go in there. What the fuck is this? Just imagine like an Easterling and an orc like having to like interact. Like they had to talk and like do things. It's just like,
man, we're talking about Lord of the Rings. I just keep thinking about Elden Ring. I'm like, yeah, Mordor is Volcano Manor. like it's very interesting. So like they had a pull from that. There's a lot of shit yet. Here's a question about when Legolas asked, or Legolas was talking to Gimli, and I think at Battle of Helm's Deep or whatever. He's like, we should have some friends or something. And then Legolas is like, I fear your brothers already have their own fight up north. Who are the dwarves fighting up north?
Easterlings.
Really? Oh,
yeah. Okay. That's who they're fighting, right? Easterlings, and then there's orcs that came out of orcs as well, but they're mostly fighting Easterlings.
You just learn all this from the books. Read the books.
Ooh. Well, I got nothing else. I mean,
well,
it's a talking episode.
It's a talky episode. We have one section left in Goblin Quest. We might save for the next episode.
Because we're missing JJ.
Nah, we don't need him.
Was he doing things with kids or something?
He was here for our special guest, but
special guest.
Yeah, he killed Jay off.
Yeah. All his goblins.
Just bring him back, and we'll just have Dalton fucking.
It's not like you guys need him. You guys roll fucking incredibly well in this one.
He was rolling really well.
Now that your lady moved in with you, do you have her computer?
No, it's still in my truck.
Oh, well, so
she hasn't set it up. We're not there yet.
You can hook it up and play some Age of Empires with us.
My gosh, could you imagine?
Dude.
She's got like her super high tech.
Dude,
mouse and keyboard.
Empires, please.
The three of us playing Age of Empires.
Oh my gosh, we can harvest so much sheep.
All of the sheep.
I was killing hella sheep today in Elden Ring. I needed some thin bones. That's funny.
Have you guys seen probably more so towards Bert, but the new Dune RTS game that just came out?
Is it out? I heard.
Well, yeah, it's like where is it? Early access. Dune Spice Wars.
Nice. I used to play the original Dune video game way back in the day, and it was like Command and Conquer. It was actually made before Command and Conquer. I believe it was made before Command and Conquer came out, so it's actually the predecessor to Command and Conquer. It's the same people, Westwood Studios. They basically made the Doom game, and then from there, I think they took their expertise and then made Command and Conquer.
So which one did you play? Because there was a couple. So there's Doom 2000, right?
Doom 2000.
Yeah, so I don't think I played that one, but there's like 2001. Hella old. No, hella old.
Can you guys specify what exactly is a dreadnought?
A what?
A dreadnought.
In
anything.
Warhammer?
In war. Space, I guess. What is a dreadnought? Like in Star Wars, you're like, oh, it's a dreadnought. You took out a dreadnought. In the game Destiny, main or one of the fucking raids, you have to go onto a dreadnought. Which is like basically, it seems like it's like a whole entire country, but it's just a ship.
Yeah, I was gonna say its origin just comes from like a ship name, right? So it's like in Star Wars, they're like a certain type of ship, right? And so it'd be like, there's like a Star Destroyer, then there's like cruiser. Dreadnoughts are like kind of like frigates. They're almost like support ships. Still big, and there's still like still like 1,000 people on board, right? But it's like smaller support ships. In like real life, I believe they're just like like in ancient times, like a ship.
Gotcha.
So, a type of ship that you used to like ram and then you board.
You made fire with me.
And then Warhammer, a dreadnought, is when
nobody plays Warhammer, Bert.
Nobody plays it. It's such a waste.
Can you just explain it?
Such a waste of time and money.
Can you just explain it to me?
Why would you do it?
Wow, that does look expensive.
I'm still waiting to play that one game, Bert.
Bold Action?
Yes.
Dude, I really want to play it. And like, I'm really like, I was this close to buying the 2-person starter, like the D-Day one or the Band of Brothers one. So that I was like, all right, I'm just going to buy this. I'm going to build it. I'm going to fucking paint it. And then I'm going to bring it up to Roanoke Park. And I'm just going to come to Dalton's house. I'm going to throw all these miniatures on his table and be like, we're going to learn how to play this.
Dude, I'm down. But we can also play it on tabletop.
Yeah, we can. We should. Yeah. I just got to figure out the rules.
Play Lord of the Rings again.
Dude, can we actually do that? And then now people are really just hearing us have a conversation, but I guess that's what a podcast is.
Yeah.
So spell table. It's for Magic the Gathering, and I know that Randy's gonna roll his eyes aggressively at that, but it's basically like the way that you can do it is you play. We join a room. It's similar to this. You'd see like all of our screens, but it's just a camera. You get your camera to point at the ground so you can see yourself playing the cards, right? And it's cool for Magic because you can like click on any card and it'll like pull up that card's stats, right? So it's super cool. This is how I play Magic with a lot of my friends. There's nothing that's stopping us from actually just using that, like, because it's free. You just sign in. And like our cameras would just point to the ground, but instead of just playing Magic, we could just play Lord of the Rings. I feel like we could do this.
I don't see why not.
And I say this because I used to play Lord of the Rings cards with, of all people, Chris Schwartz, where I literally called him on a landline, and we would like draw out on a piece of paper like the cards that we had, and then we signed on to Decipher's website. So if ever there was like a card that somebody had that I didn't know, you could like look it up. That's how old school I used to play. And this is gonna really date me because it was our second landline, and we were like calling. If somebody else called, it would like disconnect like the connection, right? And so like I remember there was one time we'd play really late at night, and Lord of the Rings games go for like a long time, and just hearing like Chris being like, oh shit, and it was just shoot, because like his dad's like, are you still on the phone? Like what? I'm expecting a phone call. And it was just like this whole thing because you had landlines back then.
And you're paying by what, the minute?
Yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah, and we would play for hours.
You could pick up the other phone and just listen to the conversation. Yeah. So good. Simple fucking times, I'll tell you that.
So download, and you don't even have to download it, just go to Spell Table. The one thing you guys might need to buy
I have to spend money now. I'm over it.
So, all right.
Let's go try beating the boss again.
Elden Ring.
Like I'm just at the end, and it's just deflating because I can't get past it.
I was kind of sad that I made it to the end.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, gotcha.
So you buy like this little thing, and it like clamps onto your desk, and you basically like can like
we do this. We do this. I can stream it to YouTube, cool. Just playing Lord of the Rings cards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and then you can like record it.
But as long as we can all see like 3 different things on the same time, yeah.
Dude, go to spell table right now.
My laptop will probably overheat at that point.
Go get your lady friend's computer from your truck.
Good thing she's moved into your casa.
How was
steal her computer? It's for the cause, Tanya. It's for the
cause. For the cause. All right, should we close it out?
Now we're just rambling. But
no topics. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
Until next time.
Try the mess.
Oh wait.